Hello everyone, I'm home. Welcome back to my channel. I've been busy all week and I wanted to show you guys what I got finished. I ended up working on my pantry, but before that I want to show you the little cabinet that I made. You saw this a couple weeks ago. I made a cabinet to put my little tiny quilts in, and after I got it done, I liked the way it looked and I decorated it and ended up not putting my quilts in it and just sat it in my kitchen. So then I decided, well, I need to make another one, not only to put my quilts in, but I wanted one for my pie plates. I have so many pie plates that I thought I would downsize and put maybe 5 or 6 on one shelf and 2 or 3 on the other and be done with it. So I'm at Menards the other day and I picked up one of these crates and I turned it on its side. No, I guess I put it straight up. And I put a shelf in the middle, and I put a piece of wood across the top. And then I had a lot of boards that, I call it dollhouse wood. It's like balsa wood. It's real thin. You can use it for dollhouse furniture and dollhouse building. And I covered the sides of it where the slats had holes in them to cover the sides. And then I covered a little bit of the back and put a new top on it. Banged it up, put some trim on it, stained it. I ended up using a dark green instead of the mustard and everything, and I really liked the way it turned out and decided I didn't want to use it for pie plates. I wanted to just decorate it for Christmas. So I put a little copper pot in it and that little basket there my friend Pat Barton made for me, and I decorated it up and I like it this way. So I set it in my kitchen. Now I've got 2 of these little cupboards now in my kitchen. So I thought, well, I'll just have to build another one for my pie plates and I can put it in my pantry. Now, how many little cabinets does one person need? I don't know, but I enjoy building these little cabinets. Of course, I made some out of my scrap wood, and then this is a little crate, and it's real easy to do. Now, that's a little tin I found, and I'm going to show you where I found it. You guys are going to love this part. It's a little fruitcake tin that from probably the 60s, maybe 70s. It's really pretty. It's got horses on it, and it looks real Christmassy, so I set that in there. And I kept decorating it different ways. And I've decided that I probably need to quit with the little cabinets, but I am going to make one more for my pie plates. So, Brad was trapped in the car with me the other day, and I made him go to the $2 bag sale with me at the church thrift store. Because I hadn't been there since last year, about the same time, right before Christmas. And I did so well, I decided to go, and I'm showing you everything that I got. I picked this up as soon as I walked in the door. It was laying on a table. They had a table just decorated with the most beautiful dishes, and I held off. I only got one, but I filled a whole garbage sack, guys. I got this cute little perfect teacup. I'm going to use it for my sugar canister. I got this little wood-turned candle holder, and it had been $6, I think at Family Dollar or Dollar General. And I put a candle on it that I had grunged up, and it's real pretty. I got this little urn that was spray painted gold, and I didn't like it. And I thought, well, I'll just paint it another color. But while I had my stain out, I heavily coated it with stain, and I really liked the way it turned out. I found this little planter. It had a cardinal on it and some other birds and some Christmas decorations. It's by a company called Sonoma. And it's got little birds all around it, and it's real Christmassy. So I stuck one of my little real poinsettias in it, and I liked it, but then I found something better for my poinsettias. Then I found this little hand-painted Italian tray, and on the back it had this name, and I looked it up, and it's about $40 at TJ Maxx and places like that. Brad put this in my bag. He wasn't going to get a bag. He said, I don't need anything. I don't want anything in this store. And he ended up getting this for a friend of his who likes nutcrackers. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Are these nutcrackers or just like tin soldiers? I get them mixed up. I don't know. But he got that for her. And then he got this. It's a real long rolled up thing. And we unrolled it. I thought it was going to be a nutcracker. But it ended up being Santa Claus. It's about 5 feet tall. And you hang it on your door. And then I got this little Santa that I didn't really think was that cute, but I thought, well, I can paint him white or off-white and make him look like the Pottery Barn ones, or maybe paint him another color. I don't know. I haven't painted him yet, but he was kind of cute. And then I got this milk glass vase that I'm not real sure if I've ever seen this pattern before. But it was bag day, so I got it, and I ended up putting it on my porch next to my little tree and my little milk for cookies for Santa mug that I have back there. Then I found this little tin bucket, and I put my poinsettia in it, and I like it a lot better. Then I found this big popcorn tin, and I do have the lid for it. I had washed it and set it on the table, and I thought it could hold a little Christmas tree. It could hold another flower. It could hold wrapping paper because it's really tall. I don't know, but it was really cute. And then I got this Christmas tree topper. I thought it was glass, but I think it's plastic. I got this little Ray Dunn flower pot that says Merry Christmas. I looked it up, and they're kind of expensive if you find them new. And then I found this little teddy bear. He was adorable. And I thought I'd put a little bow around his neck and set him under my Christmas tree. I gave him a bath and washed him in some new soap that I got that smells like Christmas trees. It's a pine-scented soap. And he's drying right now, but he smells like a Christmas tree. Then I found these little coasters. There were 4 of them, kind of vintage Santa Claus images and Christmas images. And I ended up putting them in a bowl next to one of my end tables, and put some little greenery in it, but you don't see that here, and they're real sweet. And then my whole life, I've never had one of these little guest house for my bathroom, and this one was brand new, and I've got it. And my mom used to have these when I was little. She'd have one with a Christmas tree or a holly berries on it, and I've just never done that, so I got that for my bathroom. Got these little kids' pajamas. They're like size 6 or 7. And I was thinking to make little things for my porch, like pillows or scarves, or I don't really know, maybe wrap some ornaments and hang them on that little tree. And then I found this woman's shirt, and it's the buffalo plaid, but it is if it fit me, I would wear it, but it's too small. But it has a real soft fleece feel to it. It's kind of heavy, and I've already made a pillow with it. I cut the front up and made one pillow, and I still have the back. I can make another one. And when I went to cut it to get it the pattern to match, I got the buttons too, and they're going down the side. Then I got 4 of these Let It Snow placemats, and I ended up making pillows out of those and set them on my porch. They turned out so cute. They didn't look like they'd ever been used. And I used a different kind of fabric on the back of them so that I got more yardage. I didn't put 2 together. And then I found this little bell. It was kind of an evergreen color. I'm really liking the evergreen color. And it had some pretty little berries on it. I found this little chair. It's about 14 inches tall. It was just red and didn't have a seat, so I put a new seat on it, and I stained it all up, and it turned out pretty. I have this shirt that I bought to quilt with. I love that kind of fabric for quilting. I got this to make stockings with. This red shirt was beautiful, and it had a real thick linen-like fabric that had a little bit of a pattern in it. So I can use it to make more stockings or Santa clothes. And guys, I don't buy anything new. I threw a couple candles in my bag because they were new candles, and gosh darn it, Walmart wants 97 cents for a candle, so got that. And then, of course, that little table that I stuck under my other table, I went through my fabric, and I had that big tablecloth that I got last week that was just huge, and I've used it for a lot of things. So I cut a square of that fabric and laid it across that little table and put that basket on it. Now, that basket is huge, and it's got a wooden handle. But someone has painted little houses all the way around it, and I think I'm going to take that band around the middle and paint it like an evergreen color. Then I took some of those light bulbs, I took all of them that I had gotten at the Mission last time I went there for 50 cents, and just put them in that wooden bowl. And I think they look really cute. I didn't know what else to do with all of those. I certainly wasn't going to use them in lights, so I just put them in that bowl, and I think they look okay. They're blue, green, and red. And so this is what my whole table's starting to look like. I put candy canes out. Now my pantry. I worked on my pantry this week, and I can't show you the finished product because of stain being wet, and I still have to dry it. But Yes, this is the state of my kitchen right now. While the stain and the paint and everything is drying in my pantry, I had to take every single thing out of my pantry. And remember, my pantry's always had a curtain on it or doors. So all this stuff, if it gets a little cluttery, is hidden. And I clean it every now and then, and I decorate it all up pretty, but no one sees it, so it does get messy. So I have a lot of extras in there. I have ball jars, plates, pie plates, egg trays, all kinds of stuff. And I had to clean it out. So this is what my pantry looks like right now before I took everything out of it. All my little measuring cups, I have an addiction to those, and all my stuff I took out. But I started putting wood on the front shelves and then a piece coming down so that it looked like a big wood block. Well, the white shelf that you see there is just one big piece of wood that just sits there. So eventually I can take that white out and put new boards all the way across. But I ran out of wood, I told you that, and I only had enough to do the front. So I stained with dry paint. I just dry brushed paint on and faux painted the white shelves to look like wood. And believe it or not, once I stained it, it looked pretty close to the pieces that I put on the front. But I am going to go back and put new wood in there. But this is what it turned out like, and it's really pretty. And it does look like a thick wooden shelf. And when you walk past it, now I'm not going to have the curtain on it, I'm not going to have the door, unless it gets to be too much trouble keeping it all nice and neat. But it looks really pretty. Now, the picture that I saw on Pinterest had the thick wood shelves, and it had dark green, like an evergreen color, which I'm really getting into this year. It's so pretty. So I thought I could take the walls and take a brush with dry paint and paint that wallpaper in the evergreen color. But I'm afraid it would chip off easily, so I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I might do like one little section and just see what I think of it, and it might be too dark. I don't know. But I went ahead and put some of my things back in once those shelves dried, but the bottom ones are still kind of wet. Now the other side I am using for a little desk. It's a 2-part pantry. It's like a big closet with a little wall in between it. And I had this mirror above my fireplace before I put that picture of the 2 little kids up there. So I put this mirror here, and I think it's going to stay because it really makes my hallway look a little wider. It feels like roomier when you go by, and it needs cleaned right now. I just hung it there to see if it was going to fit, and it did. So that's going to be where I sit and do my grocery list, and I'll have my box of cards there and envelopes and stuff. But I'm not going to get it too cluttered up. Now, there are 2 shelves above that, and I've got the little curtain that used to cover the whole top up above there, and I'll probably keep that there until I get my little cupboard made to put my pie plates in. Then I'll put it up on that top shelf, and you'll still be able to see it. So I like to decorate my pantry. I like for it to be neat and organized. This is what it looked like a couple Thanksgivings ago, right before I started cooking for Thanksgiving, and I'm really enjoying it. So I've got to decide if I'm going to do the green walls or not. And then I think we're going to put new trim around the whole pantry and go down the hall with new trim. And then that means new trim through the whole house. So we'll see about that. But I'm out in the garage the other day, and I found this little doll bed that I found at Goodwill for $1.99. It's adorable. Someone made it. And I finally brought it in the house, cleaned it up, and started staining it. And I ended up dry painting it with the brown and the mustard. And then I put a coat of sealer on it. But I'm thinking, someday, wouldn't that be fun to give to your little granddaughter for Christmas or a birthday, and fill it with, a little mattress and a little quilt and a little pillow and a little doll? Oh, that's what I'm thinking when I'm doing this kind of stuff. So I got that all done when I did my little red chair, and it turned out so cute. And then I've got the whole house smelling like Christmas, and I'm really into this Christmas thing. I got out some of my little books and tucked around here and there, and I really haven't gotten most of my Christmas stuff out yet, and my house is pretty well decorated. Then I got out my little Christmas miniature shop and lit it up, and went inside with my makeup brush and cleaned it a little bit, but it's contained. It doesn't have any mice in it. You can't get in it unless you take the back of it off. So I didn't have much cleaning to do, but I just love my little miniature Christmas scene. That's the little fireplace and the little flow blue dishes on top. And then I got my Christmas cabin out and I lit it up. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever had. It's been made in a crate, and I made the little fireplace out of rocks out of my driveway, and a picture frame piece for the mantle, and a little Christmas tree, and the little picture up on top of this dresser is me when I was a baby, and the buffalo plaid comforter is so cute. This is the little end table, and I'd taken a little frame and just put a little piece of buffalo check from a baby outfit underneath the glass and made an end table, and it's got a couple of books and a little cup of coffee and a little lamp and a spoon. And I like to use this it's my favorite little scrapbook I've ever made. It's got some of our stuff in it from our family, and I put that inside it, and that little stocking's only an inch long, and it was so hard to turn wrong side out. But I made that little blanket out of a baby's outfit. And I think I've showed you this before. I made this little Santa mug. It's less than an inch tall, out of clay many years ago, and I just love it. But I dropped it one day and put a little chip in his hat. And I've just never fixed it because I just leave him sitting on that little cake stand, but I just love it. And then I was looking through some old pictures, and this was a package I had given Rosie for Christmas a few years back, and she was so happy with that. She didn't want to open it. She thought it was so pretty. And I had something on the top there in that bowl, probably some dish towels. She loved dish towels. And then that big hat box matched her bedroom because she had black and white check in there, and it probably had something good in it. And I had forgotten about my quilt I got last Christmas. Remember when I found that at Goodwill? And my son was with me, and he looked it up and found it was very expensive. And I got it out, washed it, and I just put that rust-colored thing with the roses on it on my bed and decided I better use this one because you can only use it at Christmas time. So I put it back on my bed. So this was my dining room last Christmas. I'm always changing things, guys. I'm not putting my big tree in the dining room this year. I've got a little tree in there. And as always, you can join me on Instagram at MarcyJo631. And I'll be showing some things I'm doing for Christmas. And I'm still busy this week. I'm still going to do that pie cabinet. And please like and subscribe if you like my content. And I love you.